was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Looking to throw, and Matthews has it right side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And over the middle here, Amaro. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So just 1 yard to go here on third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back in the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
This is Johnson, the fullback. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Griffin underneath for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
On second down, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Here's Archer. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Davis now. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down following the run. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back to throw now on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that'll be good for a Tennessee first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Complete to Amaro on the right side. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2nd down and 4. Graham slotted out to the left. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
in the red zone this time. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now Glennon. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now receiver in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Now it looks like they might be expecting a pass, an extra DB in on 3rd and goal.
That's how the game is.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Rashard Matthews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans can have the lead if they hit the extra point. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Griffin on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Gary Barnidge, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Second and 10 now. Griffin. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They come up in an offset eye. So the D-line's going to spread out. Shift together here from the D-line. The play clock's running down. Now Griffin. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Browns. 51 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And over the middle here, Amaro. And he's brought down after a good game. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Glennon. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. He'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a really good gain there on the post route. Partner, how do you know to go to that pass?
When you're running the ball effectively and the safety likes to dive up there to try and help tackle, that's when you want to hit him over the top of the post in the area he vacates. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He's back to throw. And this is caught at the 8th. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Rashard Matthews, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25 Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're up by 1. They have the football. The key here, just don't do anything silly, right, Charles?
That's exactly right. You know, all the admonitions as they ran out there. Take care of the ball. Secure everything. Be tight in everything that you do. No let up. No crazy plays. And they can go home with a victory.
Let's see here if they can do all those things and hang on to this victory. Oh, Griffin's going to throw. And this is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Here's Griffin. Dumping it off for Johnson. Give him 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Griffin to throw. And this is brought in by Pryor. And he's brought down after a good gain. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
What a hard-fought, low-scoring game. A tough one to lose always, partner.
Draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance. Who's in a bedroom? Who's in a brand new cuneiform? Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog and a